Welcome to Saving America. This is your host, Dr. David D. Schein. Saving America welcomes Doug Lawrence. He is the founder of Talent C. That's a registered trademark and is focused on all things mentoring as a solution provider. Doug Lawrence is an international certified mentor and holds 2 mentor certifications, Certificate of Practice Mentor and Certificate of Practice Journey Mentor from the international mentoring community. Doug is the only one to hold the Certificate of Practice Journey Mentor in the world today. Wow. He has over 30 years of mentoring and leadership experience and is recognized as a thought leader in the mentoring space. Doug authored the book entitled The Gift of Mentoring, and his second book entitled You Are Not Alone became an Amazon #1 bestseller in North America and the UK. He is a bronze medal recipient in the Global Book Awards. Our series of interviews for Saving America establishes that the world is full of interesting people. We welcome Doug Lawrence for his first appearance on Saving America.
And thank you so much for the opportunity to be on your show this morning. This is really, I'm really pumped for this.
Well, that sounds good. Well, we're pumped to have you here for sure. As you know, we ask our guests 3 questions to let our audience learn about them and what they're working on. Many business people today spend years in college and a good percentage to get a graduate degree. Why do they need mentoring as well?
It's a good question, and I get asked that a fair amount by people that are in the C-suite or people that are wanting or aspire to become a leader in their organization or other organizations. And a couple things. Number one is that what mentoring will do for those people that have that education is that it's also going to reinforce their need for critical thinking. And critical thinking seems to be, since COVID and a lot of other things that have happened in the world today, critical thinking still seems to be something that, number one, we need, but number two is not as relevant, or not relevant, but not as at the forefront as it needs to be. And the second most common thing that I find with leaders today is we have lost the ability to communicate effectively. We struggle to know how to conduct ourselves in a conversation. We struggle to know how to deal with crucial conversations. And what mentoring will do is it will help you get that experience back where it needs to be, so that it's at the forefront when you go to have conversations, when you're dealing with people, when you're dealing with clients, so that it's all there. And from my perspective, it doesn't happen enough. And if I get brought into an organization to work with somebody that is in the C-suite, and I've experienced that a fair amount lately, is that those are the 2 things that seem to have gone off the railroad tracks, so to speak. And that's where I typically will end up spending some time with those leaders, is going over the critical thinking and communication skills. And finally, I think the last one that I should touch on is the aspect of self-care, is that because of the nature of everything that's going on, we don't take the time to take care of number one, which is ourselves.
Fascinating situation. Doug, our second question is, explain to our audience how your first book, The Gift of Mentoring, can help people in various fields of work. And in that, Doug, for members of our audience who don't know what mentoring is, would you include explaining, from the starting point, what is mentoring itself? How does that differ from, we hear a lot about coaching today, and we, of course, have people in classrooms.
So mentoring, the best way for me is to give you the definition that I use, that we use through the international mentoring community, and it's a 2-way trusted relationship where both the mentor and the mentee or protege are going to learn and grow together on a personal and professional basis. And what's really important here is that most people focus on mentoring being that career development tool that, somebody that's going to help me write my resume, cover letter, is going to do some job coaching and stuff like that. And we lose sight of the personal growth mentoring. So by that, I mean the self-esteem, the self-confidence, the self-worth, all the selves, as I like to call them. And we need to make sure that we're able to use those tools to be able to do that moving forward. And the reason that this will work for no matter where, what field you're working in is that industry specific, and this is a good point because this is one that a lot of people always struggle with, but mentoring is something where industry specific experience is a nice to have, not a need to have. So if I've got the mentoring skill sets, the knowledge, the competencies, the processes, all of those things that are governed, that support the mentoring process, if I have all of those in place, it doesn't matter what industry I was working in. And as an example, I've worked with senior people in the energy and gas sector, in manufacturing, in the healthcare area, you name it. I've done stuff in that particular thing, and I don't need to have that industry specific experience. And so as a result of that, the gift of mentoring is just that. It is a gift that people need to embrace and put it into practice.
Well, that sounds good. And what is involved in the book, The Gift of Mentoring? What will people learn from that book?
The best way to take a look at the gift of mentoring is that it's mentoring 101.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you, all the tools that you're going to need to begin to start the mentoring, whether you're starting it from the practice of mentoring or whether you're, starting to, I think I want to be able to give back. I want to, do some things like that, so that gives us the opportunity to be able to do that. And it's, from my perspective, it's certainly it's something that we can use in a lot of different areas, and that's what the book is intended to support. Is that if you want to know, the aspect of, there's information there on history, there's the history of mentoring, and it goes, way back. It's even older than what I am. So, but there's industry skills. There's all kinds, there's stuff on leadership and mentoring. There's, we talk about, there's, I believe, 5 or 6 case studies that are in there that actually bring the mentoring process to the forefront. And so there's a lot of material in there. And that's why I like to refer to it as mentoring 101.
Well, it sounds fantastic. How about your second book, You Are Not Alone? This came from your own experiences. Explain how mentoring can bring value to the support structure for mental health.
Well, the first thing is that I wish I had known what I know now. I wish that there was a support structure back when I was first, back in the 1970s, when I was a member of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and I was subjected to a lot of trauma that I had to deal with, but I had to deal with it by myself. And what the book You Are Not Alone does is, number one, it helps to try and alleviate the stigmatism that there is about mental health, and that, if you're suffering from mental health, you just need to push it down and keep it inside you, and not talk about it. And what I intended with the book is to be able to get people to understand it's okay to reach out and say, I need help. and understand that you are not alone, that there are people that will actually help you and, help you go through that. It helps. I know for where I am is that there's a lot of issues with regards to with the health sector with wait times and all that. A mentor who is properly trained can act as that bridge in between. So as an example, how I typically describe that is that I've been diagnosed with a mental issue that I need to see a psychiatrist. So I go for my initial appointment, and then I'm told by the psychiatrist, come and see me in 6 months. That's my next available appointment. And what I'm proposing and suggesting is that your mentor can actually be there for you and will be the person that you would go to during that 4 to 6 month gap while you're still waiting to get in to see your psychiatrist or psychologist. So they're going to act as the buffer, sort of the buffer between for the wait times. They're an individual that's going to be able to listen and hear and not pass judgment. So they're able to listen and hear. How I typically describe it is it's somebody that I have confidence in, that I know that they're going to create a safe place for us to have a conversation, that we're going to be able to walk beside each other, and I'm going to be able to, help them wherever I possibly can and not cross over into the space that the psychologist and that maybe, that they operate in. So it's, for me, it's a matter of just being there to help is the most important thing.
Well, it sounds great. Both of your books sound like they bring a lot of value to people. Doug Lawrence, how can our audience get more information about you and the work that you're doing?
The best way is I'm very active on LinkedIn. So if you do a search on Doug Lawrence, I usually pop up fairly quickly. So you can you'll be able to tap into a whole bunch of information there. You can also go to my website, which is www.talentc, so the word talent with the letter C on the end.ca. And there'll be a place there where you can click on a button and it'll send me a message and we can kind of go from there. But probably one of the easiest approaches for most people who want to get in touch with me, and this happens quite regularly, is to just send me an email message, and you can send it to doug.lawrence. So that's doug.lawrence, LAWRENCE at talentc. So the word talent with the letter CN, with the letter C, sorry, on the end.ca. And I will get back to you as quickly as I can. And it can be a simple question that you need an answer to. It can be you're interested in maybe having someone walk beside you as you struggle with your own mental health challenges and issues. And I'm here for you to be able to do whatever we need to take care of that, because you need to remember, with me, you are not alone.
Fantastic. Folks, this has been a great connection with Doug Lawrence, an expert in mentoring. This is Dr. David D. Schein. Thank you for joining us for the special episode of Saving America. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe on your favorite platform.